This is something which no one would tell you, and because of which all the policies are rejected. If you come back to India, your this policy would lapse irrespective of if you came in 300 days, 320 days, 350 days. If it's a 365-day policy, the rest of the days would lapse and you would need a fresh policy before going back to Italy. Ciao guys, welcome back to Italy in Italy, and in this video we're going to talk about the medical cum travel insurance, which would be very helpful for you in your journey to any Schengen country, maybe Italy or maybe France or any other country. So this is a very important document. As you also know, this is the part of the checklist. So I'm going to talk about all of those in details, and it would be very beneficial video for you. So this is basically primarily to cover any medical emergency or medical expenses once you're abroad, because if you know that the price for hospitalization in abroad is very high, and for you to be able to afford that is very difficult because you're coming from India, and India, if you see, it's a poor country comparison to the other European country. So for us, the medical expenses are very high, so it is better to be prepared for all the tough situations you might face because you are coming to a new country with no parents, no friends to help you, accompany you. So you would need a backup for any emergency circumstances. So I'm going to talk about all of those in detail. So basically in India, insurance is being regulated by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, which is called as IRDAI. So your insurance should be IRDAI approved, to make sure it's approved before buying any insurance. Secondly, every consulate has their own checklist whether they approve the insurance or not. So I'm talking about Italy specifically in this case. So Italy has this entire checklist which has 24 of the insurances which they accept. So out of this, you can choose any one, but personally I took the Bajaj Alliance because I know people out there. So I would recommend, in case you need a feedback and honest feedback, then you can go with the Bajaj Alliance. So this is the second part. Then third part is it should be acceptable in multiple countries. For example, like if you're coming to Italy, you'll be of course going to the Malta, maybe France, maybe Germany, Hungary. There are so many countries, Spain, in Schengen zone, that you would like to spend your vacations exploring them. So your insurance should be covering in all parts. For example, if you are in France and something bad happens unluckily, then it should be covered there, that all your cost of hospitalization, medical expenses are being taken care of. So that's why you should choose it wisely. So what happens is, since like I know the Bajaj Alliance was good, I know the regional directors, the managing directors, and of course like the top executives in Bajaj. So basically I had reached out to them for asking that, okay, your insurance is of course the best, but if I am basically recommending them to my students who are working with me, can you give some additional advantage that you are not giving to anyone else? So we came out to a certain basically points as part of MOU. So basically they have the competitive pricing that would help you to pay less and get more. Your policy is like an instant policy. It would be basically made on the same day, so you receive the entire policy on the same day. And in case of emergency claims, usually what happens with most of the insurance companies is you'll try toll-free number, you'll email them, you'll not get immediate reply. They'll be replying after 4 or 5 days, or they'll give you just an automatic reply, and the toll-free numbers are never available. So to basically curb that down, what happens is, since I am in directly touch with the Bajaj team, and I have been they have been very kind enough to basically sign an MOU with me, so that our students can get the benefits. So basically you have me, you can get in touch with me, and in case of any emergencies, any difficulties in critical time, I'll be dropping my number in the description. You can get in touch with me, and if you're going ahead with Bajaj, I'll help you out in every possible way so that you get your claim at the earliest possibility. So that's why this is the added advantage, that since I know them, I will be directly putting your case with them, that okay, this person has this problem, get this solved quickly. So you don't have to go to the hassle of toll-free number, the email in case of any difficulties. So that is a positive edge for your side. And in case of visa rejections, what happens is most of the insurance company won't refund your money. So I have confirmed and I have made sure that your policy amount would be fully refunded in case you get visa rejections. So you don't have to worry, your money is secured. In case of rejection, it will be credited back to your account. You have to just reach out to me telling me that get your policy cancelled because you have got a visa rejection. Then we also need to have a reparation clause. I'll be talking about it later. So it is, if in case you are dead, if in case you are died basically in Italy or in other country, then your mortal remains has to be transported back to your country, to your parents. So this is also part of the insurance, and this is a mandatory requirement for the embassy side, from the embassy side. So I've made sure that is there in the insurance policy. Another very very important thing on which I'll be talking about is you don't need to buy a separate policy in Italy. The same can be used in Italy, of course, for the entire duration, and you don't have to buy the health insurance in Italy, which is very very expensive, from 150 euros to maybe 600 euros. So this one policy can help you cover for all the basically, you know, problems and medical issues and everything, and you don't have to buy another policy. So that's the best part, because you don't have to pay 150 to 600 euros again when you come to Italy, and the same can be used. And same policy can be also renewed for the second year. So in case the policy happens for 365 days, so when it's about to expire, you can maybe get in touch with me. I'll get it renewed for you for the second year, so that it can be covered for the entire 2 years of your basically masters. So if you, in case you are coming for the bachelor's, you can also get it continued for the third year as well. So now let's talk about the documentation part. So like I said, this is the part of the this is a part of the checklist from the visa, and they have strictly mentioned that medical insurance they need with a coverage of at least 30,000 euros. So now what happens is in all the policies, the calculation is based on the dollars, not the euros, but we can have a rough calculation. Valid for the first 6 months of stay in Italy, including the reparation cost. So like I said, I already showed you that I have made sure that there is this reparation cost. Plus, I have made sure that you have the sufficient policy for which you don't need to get another policy once you come to Italy. So now just see the drawbacks of 30,000 and 6 months. So some people would ask you that, okay, get a cheap policy which just for the sake of visa, maybe like 30,000 dollars, 30,000 euros, or maybe like for just 6 months or maybe smaller months. What I personally recommend, because I have been studying in Italy, I have gone through the entire procedures, I am aware of how it works. So in case you get admitted, for example, in a hospital, 30,000, you can just understand it's very less. It's not pretty much, like, you know, it would be very less amount. In case of hospitalization, here the charges are very very expensive, and it would be very very difficult for you to basically manage all the funds. So I would recommend to at least go for like $1,000 policy, so that in case of any hospitalization, you can probably go for the claim, and then it would be beneficial for you. Again, if you buy the insurance for 6 months, what happens is you have to buy another insurance in Italy once you come, and that costs around 150 to 600 euros. So in case 150 to 600 euros is like around 15,000 to 60,000. So I won't recommend you buying that. I would recommend buy a proper 1 year insurance from India, so that it can cover for the entire duration of 1 year, and then you can get it renewed. And also at the same time, you don't have to get another policy in Italy, and the same can be submitted both for visa and both for residence permit in Italy. So now, what all documentation are required if you want to get it done through me? So I would need your passport copy, I would need your flight tickets, I would need your email ID, and I would need your phone number. These 4 details are needed from your side. After you send us the details, basically we will ask the Bajaj team to send you the quotation over the mail, which would have all the pricing, all the inclusions and everything, so that you can confirm from your end. And once you have finalized confirmed details, then you can make the payment, and then the policy is basically delivered to your inbox. And basically we'll try to get your policy within 2 hours, because we have tried to ask them that, okay, if our students are coming, they should have no problem, and they should have the immediate policy. Now coming to the quotation that I've got from their side is, in case you are going for a 50,000 sum insured policy, it would be, final cost would be 5,978 as of today. It might change later if you are watching video after a certain time. And then for a silver plan, which is like a $1 lakh, it is 6,974 is the total premium. And for the gold plan, it is 9,964 for like the $2,000 of the policy. So in my personal opinion, if you see the pricing, it's just ₹1,000 difference, and they're doubling your sum insured from $50,000 to $1 lakh. So I personally recommend you to get the Travel Prime Student Silver policy. And like I mentioned, the prices are subject to change on date of birth depending on your age. They are subject to change on extra inclusion in case you want some other extra inclusions, or in case you are basically taking the policy at a later date, there might be fluctuations in the pricing. So I think this should be better for you, in my opinion, because I have also opted for this when I was applying for the policy. So I hope you got this. I hope you got the quotation. And now I'm gonna show you the inclusion. So once you give us the details, we're gonna send you over an email the quotation. So the quotation would have like something like this details that you chose, like travel prime student silver plan. It is acceptable in all countries except USA and Canada. And who got it, what is the date of birth, what is the age, what is the passport number, what is the nominee name, what is the father's name. Along with that, you will also have like personal accident in case you went through an accident, medical emergency and evacuation, or medical expenses, like in case you are admitted and you have some certain medical expenses, emergency dental pain in case you have any dental problem immediately which require emergency requirement from doctor side, repatriation, like I said, in case of death your mortal gains would be transported back to India. Loss of checked baggage is basically in case you have checked in your luggage in the airlines and it's lost, then also the airlines compensate up to this amount. Accidental death, in case of death or permanent disability, they also give you certain amount. In case of personal liability, in case you do some damage here, for that also they have certain liability that is also covered. You also have accident to sponsor. You also have bail bond insurance. Bail bond insurance is basically like for example, if you are arrested because of some or the other reason and you need bail, so for paying the bail amount they would also cover that up to 500 US dollars. Family visit is like in case you are hospitalized and your family member or any Indian doctor has to come to see you in Italy, so all their flight expenses would also be covered as a part of family visit. And tuition fee of up to 10,000 US dollars is in case you are incapable of continuing your basically studies further, then you can technically get like a tuition fee credited back to your account, and the this insurance company would pay for that. So this is for the basically the silver policy which I am recommending. About 6,974 is the price as of today. So now one thing which no one would tell you, and we are coming almost to the end of the video, don't get policy because it is a requirement of visa and residence permit, but get it because of the safety. For example, if you are traveling by a bike or a scooty and in case you met with an accident, so though the government keeps on saying that you have to wear helmet, but though if you went with an accident and you don't have a helmet, you might get a serious injury in the head which might cause you to like death, cause your death. So it is recommended to have the best policy. Don't go for the cheaper one or just like Kam Chalatu one for which you have like no remedy later. You have problems getting basically the money from the insurance side for all your claims. So rely on a good policy. Maybe you can rely on this one because I have personal connect, so I can help you out with all the claims and settlements. And second is when you come back to India, this is something which no one would tell you and because of which all the policies are rejected. If you come back to India, your this policy would lapse irrespective of if you came in 300 days, 320 days, 350 days. If it's a 365-day policy, the rest of the day would lapse and you would need a fresh policy before going back to Italy, because policy can only be done once you are in India. It cannot be done if you are in Italy. And second important thing is if your policy start date is not your traveling starting date, so there you have to make sure that your policy starting date should be exactly matching with the flight details on which you are going, and the same date the stamp on your passport should be there, and it should say that okay, it was period of issuance was like from 16/9/2024, so you should fly on 16/9/2024 and this should be the date of your insurance. That's why I told you that we would need your basically your passport copy along with flight tickets so that your insurance is done from the date on which you are flying to Italy. And you don't have to worry about anything because like I said, in case of visa rejections, it is full policy amount to be refunded back to you. In case of you have any more doubts, you can connect with me on my personal Instagram or on my Italy in Italy Instagram. You can email to me on any of these email addresses. You can book a one-to-one session with me on this QR code by registering there. And you can also join a WhatsApp group, which I have created as a community WhatsApp group for helping students out with the Italy process. And this is my personal WhatsApp number. You can DM me in case you want this basically the insurance. So I'll get this done on priority so that your basically file for visa is strong, and also you have some backend support to bear all your expenses in case you meet with an emergency or any difficulties in Italy. So that was it. I hope you liked the video. For any more questions, please reach out to me, and see you in the next video. Till then, ciao.